We were swaddled in faith. Pragmatism had to be wiped off our shivering, pale, and dripping bodies as we were pulled from our mother's bloody snatches. But when the time came, the daunting, heavy crown of cynicism was placed onto our heads. And try as we might, we couldn't dream of nothing else but the freedom to return to the bondage of our youth. Our souls longed for the umbilical cord, and our bodies tried to ball into tight spaces, but we were helpless to hide. The cold sweats, mumbling, and fever burned us into transition like the mighty phoenix with feeble wings as an archaic adolescent. And what transition, even for our benefit, doesn't burn us so fiercely that we fight against our only salvation? And so it was that we eventually accepted our fate and became cynicism's mercenaries. We battled against innocence. We looked into the faces of our peers like mirrors, reflecting how foolish we once were to love and believe, and we hated it. We hated it with a hate that was more than hate, and eventually we laid down our swords of reality and shed the shield of our minds for a brief fit of insanity. We tended to our feelings because it felt so good to lose control and just not know. We picked up the cold coat of indifference, and some say indifference is worse, and we say feeling is a curse. So we were done with it, off with its head, but creeping like the cold of winter, our toes began to feel again. And then suddenly our limbs were engulfed in a tingling, and in our senior years we came back to our senses, most literally. We became like children, simply reacting with colorful hues of high and low, every peak, plateau, and valley, overcoming and sickening us with emotions we couldn't even begin to describe. Unfortunately, though, we were not children. We were embalmed in knowledge that children know not of and know not that they know not, but we knew. We knew there was an alternative, to not feel at all, but in the sunset of our lives, we couldn't access such powers of self-control. Why would God place our minds above our hearts if this was not the natural order of things? And as our last breaths slipped from our coffee-stained teeth, we remembered a great truth. Even as love crowns you, so shall she crucify you. And is the crown not worth the crucifixion? Thank you.